North Korea will demand that it keep its nuclear arsenal. North Korea's entire regime is based upon nuclear weapons. You take away nuclear weapons, that regime collapses tomorrow. It has no legitimacy with its people. It is utterly powerless. It is toothless. It has literally nothing to offer on the world stage. Yet with nuclear weapons, it can sell it to terrorists around the world. This is one of our most feared and dangerous enemies and adversaries. Kim Jong-il has repeatedly said on North Korean radio and in North Korean newspapers and state-controlled media that his goal is to destroy the United States, that he believes China is now the rising superpower in the world, that communism is destined to make a comeback. And we know for a fact that North Korea has been selling nuclear technology and missiles to the Islamic fascists in Iran, to Hezbollah, to Hamas, that they were in fact behind the Syrian nuclear reactor that was destroyed by the Israelis several years ago. In other words, they are part of the axis of evil that is determined to destroy and humiliate the United States on the world stage. And yet, what do? We send our president, our former president, on a high-profile trip where there he is groveling in front of Kim Jong-il, that maniacal midget who literally has murdered over 1 million of his own citizens, where he has slave labor camps throughout the entire country. He has so destroyed and impoverished his country. I kid you not. I kid you not. The average size of the North Korean citizen has shrunk by 6 inches over the last generation. 6 inches. That's how malnourished they are. And yet Bill Clinton goes to Pyongyang and has a big photo op with Kim Jong-il and all the big top North Korean nuclear negotiators. And what is Kim Jong-il going to do with that photo? He is going to play it on television and in newspapers around the clock, because he is going to tell his people, look at the Americans. Look how weak they are. Look how they respect us. They come to us and they ask the dear leader for his permission, for his kingly, godly benevolence to free these 2 American journalists. And here we are, the United States of America, the world's last great superpower, reduced to a paper tiger. We are now literally kissing the feet and the hands. We are kneeling in front of Kim Jong-il. Now, what is going to happen the next time? I can tell you right now what's going to happen the next time. He's going to take more American hostages, and he's going to demand more concessions. And in particular, he's going to have the Obama administration sit down face-to-face and discuss the nuclear issue. And again, we have abandoned our allies. Because if you look at South Korea and Japan, they have hostages in North Korea. This is something the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about. You think we were the only ones with hostages? The Japanese and South Koreans have had their citizens abducted for the last 20 to 25 years. They are rotting in the prisons of North Korea. And we, the United States, have told them repeatedly, do not link the nuclear issue with your citizens being jailed. We can't do that. And yet now, we slap our allies right in the face. And the question I have, I'll be very honest with you, if I'm one of our allies, if I'm in Seoul, South Korea, if I'm the president of South Korea, or I'm in Tokyo, and I'm in the Japanese cabinet, I'd say, why the hell didn't Bill Clinton talk about our citizens who are in prison? Why didn't he try to negotiate their release? Why only the 2 Americans? I mean, here we are, we're on the front lines, we're facing the Chinese giant. We have to deal with the threat of a North Korean nuclear attack on our border. Every time the Americans ask us to do something, we do it. We are their closest allies. South Korea in particular fought with us in the Korean War. They shed blood with American blood on Korean soil. They have to live with this fanatical madman right across their border. And yet here they are, literally, again, abandoned. And so what is going on here with the Obama administration? It is the same pattern. We are betraying our allies. We are slapping them in the face. Look at Israel. We are putting pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israelis to make concession after concession after concession to Islamic terrorists and to those Palestinian jihadists. We are turning our back on Taiwan. We are turning our back on South Korea. We are turning our back on Japan. We turn our back on every one of our allies, Georgia, Ukraine. Yet Obama goes around the world and he apologizes to Putin and he praises that dictator. And when he's not done there, he goes to the Muslim world and he tells them how great Islam is. And he apologizes for the United States. And then he goes to China. He sends his top people to China. And we have Timothy Geithner begging the Chinese to buy our debt. And now he sends Bill Clinton to North Korea to coddle that dictator. Everywhere around the world, our allies are humiliated, our enemies are emboldened. We are making alliances with people who hate us, with people who seek our very destruction. And yet the mainstream media is fawning, absolutely fawning over all this. And if that wasn't enough, Mr. Global Climate Change, Mr. Messiah from literally Mr. Noah's Ark, where we're all going to drown apparently with the ice caps melt under global warming. Here's what he had to say. Boys,
Obama
let's roll clip 5.
Countless members of his administration have been deeply involved in this humanitarian effort. To Secretary Clinton and the members of the State Department, several of whom are here, they have really put their hearts in this. It speaks well of our country that when 2 American citizens are in harm's way, that so many people would just put things aside and just go to work to make sure that this has had a happy ending. And we are so grateful to all of them.
There's Al Gore. It's like a blast from the past. Yeah, sure, we're all happy that 2 citizens have come home. Sure, many people have worked hard. But what did you give up? What did Bill Clinton promise Kim Jong-il during those private meetings? I'll bet you dollars to donuts what he promised him. What he told him was, hey, listen, Kim, forget about the 6-party talks. Forget our allies. You want to keep your weapons? I think we can make a deal. But listen, we got to save face. We got these 2 journalists. And our liberal pals back home, they want them home as quickly as possible. So you give us the 2 American journalists, and I'll tell you what, we'll sit face-to-face with you, and we'll make a deal. And if that consolidates your regime, if that perpetuates your brutal dictatorship, I don't care. Because the fact that millions of people are rotting in your prisons, the fact that you're murdering millions of your own citizens, I don't care. What I care about is power. And that, my friends, is Obama and Clinton in a nutshell. I'm Jeff Kuhner from the Washington Times, filling in for the living legend, Michael Savage. I want to hear from you, 1-800-449-8255. Was it a good idea for Bill Clinton to go to North Korea? I want to hear from you. You're listening to Michael Savage on The Michael Savage Show. Savage.
Eloquent in their own way.
Armstrong and Getty. Weekday morning 6 to 10. Talk 910 KNEW.
This is Jeff Kuhner from the Washington Times, sitting in for Michael Savage on the Savage Nation. Did Bill Clinton do the right thing by going to Pyongyang and negotiate the release of those 2 American journalists? I want to hear from you. 1-800-449-8255. 1-800-449-8255. Let's go to Charles in Wisconsin. Charles, welcome to the Savage Nation.
Hi, Jeff. I am a very conservative person. I think 99% of the Obama all the moves that he's made thus far are just awful, completely awful. But I don't see anything wrong with Bill Clinton going to North Korea and coming out with 2 Americans that were trapped there. I mean, if anything, it says that he still has the swagger, almost like Reagan had. You know, the best weapon is his words, what he says. So, I mean, my favorite Democrat is one that's out of office, and I see nothing wrong with Bill Clinton going over there and saving 2 Americans. I do think he should have saved some of our allies, or at least said something about it. Maybe he did. But I see nothing wrong with him going over there and saving two of our own. I think there's nothing wrong with it.
Well, look, Charles, look, there's no question about it. My heart melts when when you hear those two women talk and when you see them coming on the runway and, greeting their families. There's no question about it. Every American wants them home. Nobody wants them rotting in a slave labor camp. But here's the point. By going there, Bill Clinton, in many ways, solidified Kim Jong-il's regime. He has now made the problem worse because he's rewarding bad behavior. He gave Kim Jong-il the one thing he wants, and that's legitimacy. He gave him a photo op, the mother of all photo ops. And this Kim Jong-il is going to use to solidify himself in power and to groom his youngest son to be the successor. But more than that, Charles, because it's been going on around here in Washington for the last couple of months. There clearly was a deal in the works. Make no mistake about it. You do not send a former president on a high-level, high-profile trip